Christmas University Challenge. Asking the questions, Amal Virgin.
Hello and welcome to another first round match in this year's special seasonal series of University Challenge. This 15th iteration of our annual alumni tournament is being contested by memorable teams and players from Christmas University Challenges past. 10 have played already. Keble College Oxford and Trinity College Cambridge have already qualified for the semi-finals, and to be certain of joining them, tonight's teams will need to win with a score of at least 240 points. The first team we're welcoming back tonight were Christmas Series champions in 2016, playing on behalf of St Hilda's College, Oxford. As you might expect, given their day jobs, they were particularly strong throughout that series on literature and classics, but also, unlike many alumni teams, notably good at untangling our more puzzle-like questions. In 2021, one of their original players, the influential healthcare professional Dame Fiona Caldicott, died at the age of 80. All three of her teammates have returned for this competition, however, and they've brought a new player with them, meaning their lineup is now a scientist specialising in human genetics who helped develop the UK Biobank data collection and now works at Google DeepMind, an award-winning classicist whose books include 2024's The Missing Thread, their captain, a best-selling crime writer, winner of the Diamond Dagger and creator of the detective Karen Pirie, and the author of more than 100 books for children and adults, most recently under the pseudonym Hope Adams. Let's meet the team from St Hilda's once again.
Hello, I'm Claire Bycroft. I graduated in 2018 with a PhD in statistical genetics.
Hello, I'm Daisy Dunn. I read classics at St Hilda's and graduated in 2009.
And their captain.
Hi, I'm Val McDermott. I read English language and literature at St Hilda's and I graduated in 1975.
Hello, I'm Adele Guerras. I read modern languages, French and Spanish at St Hilda's, and I graduated in 1966.
They're facing a team made up of players from three different generations of Edinburgh alumni teams, including, firstly, an entomologist who has had a long and distinguished career as both an academic and television presenter. He appeared on the inaugural series of these Christmas specials, where his team was unlucky enough to come up in the semi-finals against a former student champion in top form. Their second player was a semi-finalist in our 2014 Christmas series. He's a journalist and broadcaster who received an honorary doctorate from Edinburgh in 2013 for his contribution to the public understanding of science. Their final two players were both members of the Edinburgh team that were Christmas Series champions in 2021. Their captain is a writer on architecture, a former president of the 20th Century Society and currently acting architecture critic for The Guardian, while on her left is a Hispanicist who is a professor at the University of Sheffield. Let's hear the team from Edinburgh introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm George McGavin. I started my zoology degree at Edinburgh a mere 50 years ago, and I graduated in 1978.
Hello, I'm Quentin Cooper. I studied artificial intelligence and psychology at Edinburgh and graduated in 1983.
And their captain.
Hello, I'm Catherine Slessor, and I studied architecture at Edinburgh and graduating in 1984.
Hi, I'm Phil Swanson, and I graduated, I think, in 1984 with a PhD in Hispanic Studies.
Welcome back, those who've been here before, and welcome for the first time, those who are playing for the first time. Shall we begin? Fingers on buzzers. Here is your first starter for 10. Good luck. Which major Spanish city is home to all of the following? A metro system designed by Norman Foster with distinctive...
Edinburgh Slessor.
Bilbao.
Well done. Well done indeed. 3 questions for you, Edinburgh, on Christmas-time traditions in the Caribbean region. The folk music known as parang is commonly played around Christmas in which Caribbean country, where it is thought to have originated in the 18th century among cocoa farmers who came from nearby Venezuela?
Trinidad? Trinidad, do you think? Trinidad.
Yes, Trinidad and Tobago. Likely of West African origin, the Boxing Day and New Year's festival of Junkanu is celebrated across the Caribbean, but is most strongly associated with which country, where annual parades are held on its most populous island, New Providence?
New what? New Providence. New Providence. One of the British.
Jamaica or Cuba?
Well, no, more likely to be a British one.
Is it?
I think so, with the name right.
Haiti?
Haiti.
No, it's the Bahamas. Though popular among its citizens, the celebration of Christmas was officially banned by the Cuban government from 1969 until 1997 in preparation for the visit of which religious leader the following year?
The Pope.
Which one?
Oh.
Pope John Paul II.
Well done. It is indeed. Let's start the question. Which of the cardinal directions links the titles of all of the following? Philip Larkin's debut poetry collection, the 2014 Booker Prize-winning novel by Richard Flanagan.
St Hilda's Garrets.
North.
Yes, that's right. The poetry collection was The North Ship, and the novel was, of course, The Narrow Road to the Deep North. Well done. Your bonuses then, St Hilda's, are on the director Marielle Heller. Who is the subject of the 2019 biopic A Beautiful Day in the Neighbourhood? Directed by Heller, played in the film by Tom Hanks, he was an American children's television presenter whose show began in 1968 and ran for over 850 episodes.
I've seen the movie.
I've seen the film too.
I don't remember his name. Doctor somebody. I don't
We just
remember
say
his
Tom
name.
Nobody? Anybody?
Tom Hanks, I'd say. No, I don't.
Dominate
Dr.
Dunn.
Cooper.
Tom Hanks.
No, he's in the question. It's Mr. Rogers we're looking for. What is the 5-word title of Heller's 2018 biopic starring Melissa McCarthy about the author Lee Israel, who turned to literary forgery during a career slump?
Oh, yes. Oh, it's the one about Richard D. Granton. Richard D. Granton. Melissa McCarthy. No.
Oh, it's gone.
Sorry, it's gone.
It's Can You Ever Forgive Me? In 2020, Heller directed a recording of a play by Heidi Schreck about the playwright's youthful debates concerning which legal document that has, since its adoption in 1789, received 27 amendments.
Give it a go.
Is that the American Constitution?
It is indeed. Well done. Let's start the question. In Cumbria, the West Coast Main Line and the M6 motorway run close together above the distinctive T-Bay Gorge, a valley formed by what south-flowing river? The name of a university city close to the river's estuary on Morecambe Bay ultimately derives from that of the river itself, and so, therefore, does that of the county in which it is...
Edinburgh Cooper.
Is it the Loon?
It is the River Loon. Well done. Your bonuses, Edinburgh, are on terms used in physics. Give each from the definition. All three begin with the same 4 letters. First, an adjective applied to an electrical circuit in which components are connected on separate branches, with a current splitting between these branches and later reuniting.
What do you think?
Parallel.
Parallel?
Yes. Secondly, the apparent change in the position or direction of an object when it is viewed from 2 different points.
It's not parallax, is it?
Parallax, yeah.
Parallax.
Well done. Finally, as proven by Galileo, the type of curve described by the path of a projectile under the influence of Earth's gravity alone, i.e., assuming air resistance is negligible and ignoring the curvature of the Earth.
Nominate McGavin.
Parabola.
Well done, it is indeed. Let's start the question. It's a picture round now. And for your picture starter, you're going to see a road sign formerly in use in the UK. For 10 points, I need you to give me the 2-word name of the concept it represents.
Edinburgh Cooper.
Road narrowing?
Yes, I'll accept that. Road narrows. For your picture starter, you saw an old road narrows or narrow bridge sign, one of the many road signs replaced with its modern counterpart following the adoption of the recommendations of the War Boys Committee 60 years ago this year. For your bonuses, you'll see 3 more pre-War Boys road signs. And again, I just need you to tell me what each represents. First, what is being represented by this sign?
Blimey. Angry locals.
Yeah. I don't know. Well,
I don't know, should we...
Flame. Fire. Brazier.
Beacon?
Beacon.
No, it's school. Secondly, what is being represented by this sign?
Oh,
Hospital?
hospital.
Hospital.
Yes. Finally, what does this sign represent?
Oh, level crossing.
Gated.
Level crossing.
Yes, well done. Let's start the question. What 4 letters begin words with all of the following definitions? A state of immobility or stupor, a device used in siege warfare to hurl projectiles, a 2...
Edinburgh's Lesser.
Kata.
Yes, absolutely right. Well done. 3 questions for you, Edinburgh, on continental football champions in 2025. The Champions Cup of CONCACAF, that is the Confederation of North, Central American and Caribbean Association Football, was won in 2025 by Cruz Azul, a club based in which country?
No, I was going to say Argentina, but...
It'll be...
Portugal?
No.
No, it's America.
America. Oh,
So it's not in South America. So it could be
oh,
Mexico.
right.
Or it could be Argentina.
Mexico.
Well done.
Well done.
The club that won the African Champions League in 2025 when they beat South African side Mamelodi Sundowns are from what country? Their name references one of the wonders of the ancient world.
Egypt.
Could be Zimbabwe.
Egypt. What name? We don't know, I suppose.
Senegal, Egypt.
Egypt.
It could be any.
Egypt.
It sounds like
Come on.
Southern Africa. Zimbabwe.
No, bad luck, it is Egypt. The club is Pyramids FC. In May 2025, Al Ahly beat the Japanese club Kawasaki Frontale to win the Asian Champions League Elite for the first time. In what country are Al Ahly based?
Saudi Arabia.
Yes, well done. Let's start the question. From Greek, meaning to separate or distinguish, what term is used in linguistics for marks such as an ogonek, a hatchek, a macron, or a tilde that are attached to a letter to specify its sound value?
St Hilda's done.
Breathing.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. Or indicate tone or stress. You may not confer.
Edinburgh Swanson.
Diacritic.
It is diacritic, yes. Bad luck, St Hilda's. Your bonuses, Edinburgh, are on figures and places from Greek mythology that feature in the 2020 video game Hades. Stop laughing. At the beginning of the game, the player character Zagreus discovers that Persephone is his biological mother, having previously believed it was which goddess? In Greek myth, the personification of night.
It's not Selene. That's not the right mythology, probably. Night.
No. Hey, no.
We'll try Celine. Celine.
No, it's Nyx. I'm sorry, Daisy, I think it's going to be quite painful for you to sit through these bonuses. In the game, Zagreus must fight through 4 regions of the underworld. The second of these bears the name of which flower? In the Odyssey, Homer describes the fields of the lands of the dead as covered in these flowers.
Lotuses?
Poppies? Would it be poppies? No?
Lotus? I don't know.
Feels as Lotus might be worth a try. But
Lotus.
No, it's Asphodel. One companion quest in the game involves reuniting which 2 figures? One the son of Peleus and Thetis, the other the son of Menecius.
we need a pair from Greek mythology, a Scylla and Charybdis or something.
I don't think we're classical scholars, so we'll pass.
It's Achilles and Patroclus. Plenty of time, St Hildas. Here's another starter question. In atmospheric science, the Chapman cycle is a chemical reaction that describes the production of which triatomic gas? Occurring in the upper atmosphere, it involves the reaction of dioxygen under the influence of...
Edinburgh McGavin.
Ozone?
Yes, well done. It is indeed. Your bonuses are 3 questions on a building. Inaugurated on the 5th of January 1875, the Opera House located on the Place de l'Opéra in Paris is usually known as the Palais what, after the architect who designed it?
It's Garnier. Garnier.
It is indeed.
Charles Garnier.
It is indeed. Notable artworks within the Palais Garnier include a bronze sculpture by Adele Daffrey of Pythia, a priestess of which Greek god? This god is also the central figure of a sculptural group on the roof of the palace with poetry and music at his sides.
Is it Athena?
Athene?
No, it's Apollo. 1964 saw the unveiling of a new ceiling for the Opera House, featuring colourful depictions of scenes from various operas by which artist, born in 1887 in what is now Belarus?
Chagall?
Yes, well done. Well done, it is indeed. Music round now, and for your music starter, you're going to hear an excerpt from an opera. For 10 points, I need the name of its composer.
Edinburgh Swanson.
Bizet.
It is indeed, well done. Your bonuses then, Edinburgh. For your music starter, you heard the Habanera from Bizet's Carmen, which first premiered 150 years ago in 1875. For your bonuses, 3 more pieces of music from 1875. Again, I want the name of the composer in each case. First.
Tchaikovsky?
Not helping you.
No. Sorry? Tchaikovsky.
It is. It's the glorious Piano Concerto No. 1. Secondly.
Oh, that's achingly familiar.
As was that.
Come on.
Don't know.
Grieg.
No, that was Smetana from Mavlast. Finally, this piece, written in 1875 and first performed the following February.
That's Grieg.
No, That is Greek. Well done. Let's start the question. The song on Scott Walker's 2012 album, Bish Bosh, entitled The Day the Conductor Died, an Xmas song, was inspired by which former world leader? The term conductor had first been used to refer to the dictator Ion Antonescu, but was later applied to this man, also a dictator of Romania, until his execution alongside his wife.
Edinburgh Swanson.
Ceausescu.
It is Nicolae Ceausescu, yes, who was executed on Christmas Day, 1989. Your bonuses are on plants known by the Latin specific angustifolium, meaning narrow-leaved. Epilobium angustifolium, or rosebay willow herb, is distinguished by its tall stalks and numerous pink flowers. It is also known by what single-word name, referring to its rapid growth on cleared or damaged land?
Willow herb.
It's not buddleia, is it?
Fireweed or something.
Not weed.
I've never heard that name.
No, I can't.
Roseby willow herb.
Old man's beard.
Oh, it's not old man. No, that's a different plant.
Yeah.
Fireweed or something like that.
Fireweed.
Correct. After the colour of its edible fruit, what is the common name of Vaccinium angustifolium, a small shrub native to eastern North America that grows well on acidic ground?
Vaccinium is a blueberry, isn't it? Is it blueberry?
Should we try it?
Blueberry.
Vaccinium. Well, I think so, yeah.
A bluebell.
Blueberry.
No, I can't. Sorry, I have to take your first given answer, and bluebell's wrong. It is, in fact, blueberry. Bad luck.
George.
Got to take your first clear answer, sorry. Angustifolia is the specific of the English variety of what plant of the sage or mint family, also known as spike oil? Synonymous with a colour, it is used in perfumery and less commonly as a culinary herb.
I guess.
Sage? I don't know.
Sage.
No, it's lavender. Let's start the question. In baking, what name is given to icing made from egg whites beaten with icing sugar, a small amount of liquid, often lemon juice, and sometimes glycerine, which sets to a firm, smooth finish?
St Hilda's Garrett.
Royal.
It is indeed. Well done. Your bonuses are 3 questions on etymologies of words found in the account of the birth of Jesus in Luke's Gospel. First, what word derived ultimately from a Latin verb meaning to chew, and thus cognate with the scientific term for the jawbone, evolved from an old French term for eating place or receptacle, and is used for an object mentioned in Luke's description of Jesus' birth?
Manger? It's from manger, so it's manger, yeah.
Manger.
Yes. What word derived from the Latin for race or clan was used to translate the Greek ethnos, itself a translation of Hebrew goyim? Luke's Gospel declares Jesus a light to lighten people in this category, in contrast to his also being the glory of God's people Israel.
The Gentiles.
Yes. What word derives from the Greek translation of the Hebrew malach, meaning messenger?
Angel. It's angelos.
Angel.
It is angel. Well done. Let's start the question. In 2025, what golfer became only the 6th man and first European to achieve a career...
Edinburgh Slesser.
Rory McIlroy.
It is indeed. All right, well done. Your bonuses, Edinburgh, are on hills in English literature. Quote, on Wenlock Edge, the wood's in trouble, his forest fleece, the Wrekin heaves. These words are taken from a poem found in a collection of 1896 by which writer?
On Wenlock Edge.
Wenlock Edge,
yeah.
It's not A. Houseman, is it? I don't know.
A.E. Houseman.
Yes, it's a Shropshire lad, yes. In Jane Austen's Emma, the title character is rebuked by Mr. Knightley for insulting Miss Bates after a picnic on which hill in the North Downs near Dorking?
Box.
Box Hill.
Box Hill.
Yes. Named after a hill near Newbury, which 1972 novel by Richard Adams focuses on the adventures of a group of rabbits led by Hazel and Fiver?
Watership Down.
Yes, it is indeed. Let's start the question. Picture round. For your picture starter, you're going to see a painting. For 10 points, I need you to identify its British artist.
St Hilda's done.
Rossetti.
It is Rossetti, yes. Well done, St Hilda's. Your bonuses then. For your picture starter, you saw Dante Gabriel Rossetti's painting of a woman hanging mistletoe among boughs of holly. For your bonuses, 3 more paintings that feature holly or ivy. 5 points for each artist you can name. First.
It's El Greco.
El Greco.
El Greco.
Yes. Secondly.
Mucha.
Yeah, Mucha.
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 Yes, Alphonse Mucha. Finally, this British artist.
Oh, it's that cat artist. What's his name?
Louis Wayne, is it?
Louis Wayne.
Well done. Spot on. Yes, brilliant. Let's start the question. What body of the solar system is the most volcanically active? having several hundred active volcanoes. Its volcanicity results from the strong gravitational pull of the large planet it orbits and the periodic pulls of more distant...
Edinburgh Cooper.
Enceladus?
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. You may hear more of the question, but you may not confer, St Hilda's. Pulls of more distant satellites, such as Europa and Ganymede. You may not confer.
St Hilda's McDermott.
Jupiter.
No, bad luck. It's one of Jupiter's moons, Io. Now let's start the question. Which letter of the alphabet differentiates the surnames of these two British writers? First, the author whose novels include 2018's Ghost Wall and 2020's Summer Water. And secondly, the founder-director of the Women's Prize for Fiction and the Women's Prize for Non-Fiction, whose works include Labyrinth, the first novel in the Languedoc trilogy.
St Hilda's McDermott.
Letter E.
Well done for Sarah Moss and Kate Moss. Yes, exactly. Your bonuses, St Hilda's, are on words that can be created using letters in the phrase White Christmas. 5 points for each you can identify. First, the artistic technique of etching fine designs into the teeth and bone of whales, common in the 19th century. It is still practiced today among indigenous groups in Alaska.
Scrimshaw.
Well done. Secondly, the surname of the American writer best known for his association with the so-called Fireside Poets and his 1866 work, Snowbound, A Winter Idyll. Come on.
Walt Whitman.
Walt Whitman.
No, it's Whittier, as in John Greenleaf Whittier. Finally, a mathematical term meaning to divide something, such as a shape or an angle, into three.
Try something.
Trisecting.
Yes, correct. Now let's start the question. The 2019 Richard J. Evans book, subtitled A Life in History, is a biography of which British historian? The co-author, along with Terence Ranger, of the 1983 book The Invention of Tradition, he is associated with theories of the long 19th and short 20th centuries, which he expanded upon in his 4 Age of books.
Edinburgh Swanson.
A.J.P. Taylor.
No. Quickly, anyone want to have a guess? No, I'll tell you. It's Eric Hobsbawm. Now let's start the question. Name either of the 2 Beatles albums released in 1965. One was the band's second soundtrack album, featuring Yesterday and Ticket to Ride. The other was their second album with all original songs, including Michelle and Nowhere Man.
Edinburgh Cooper.
Meet the Beatles?
No, you can have a bit more time, but you can't confer.
St Hilda's McDermott.
Was it Help?
Yes, all right. I wouldn't normally give you that long. I wouldn't give the students that long, put it that way, but it is Christmas, so let's be generous. Rubber Soul was the other one, of course. Your bonuses are 3 questions on stove fuels. In 1892, the Swedish inventor F.W. Lindqvist developed the Primus, a sootless pressure stove that burns what distillate of crude oil with a relatively high flash point?
LPG or butane. Try butane.
Butane?
No, it's kerosene. What simple hydrocarbon of the alkane series is the main constituent of gas bottles coloured red in the UK? This gas burns relatively well in colder temperatures.
Maybe it is butane.
Butane?
No, it's propane. Less efficient than propane in colder temperatures and with a higher boiling point. What alkane is the main constituent of gas cylinders coloured blue in the UK?
Butane.
With butane.
Got there in the end. Well done. It was butane. Now let's start the question. By what 3-word name is the affliction paresthesia more commonly known? Caused by a restriction of blood flow to the nerves, it manifests as a typically temporary prickling sensation.
St Hilda's Bycroft.
Pins and needles.
It is indeed. Well done. Your bonuses, St Hilda's, are 3 questions on bitterness in drinks. The flavonoid compound naringin, which contributes to the bitterness of cocktails such as a greyhound and a paloma, is found in particularly high levels in what fruit?
Grapefruit?
Yes. The alkaloid quinine, primarily responsible for the bitter taste of tonic water, was historically extracted from the bark of what type of tree? Come on.
Sorry.
No, I'll tell you, it's the cinchona tree. The alpha acids humulone and cohumulone, which impart bitterness to beer, come from what ingredient used in brewing? This ingredient is used as a preservative as well as a flavouring agent.
Hops.
Yes, well done. Now start the question. At the 2025 Cannes Film Festival, which actor was surprised with an unannounced honorary Palme d'Or given to him by Spike Lee before a screening of their 2025 collaboration, Highest to Lowest? His other films were...
Edinburgh Swanson.
Denzel Washington.
It was indeed, yes. Your bonuses then, Edinburgh. 3 questions on a musician. The classical musician Alison Balsam, who retired in September 2025, was principally associated with what instrument?
Trumpet.
Yes, Balsam's final performance was at the last night of the Proms, where she played which Austrian composer's trumpet concerto in E-flat major? This composer was a pupil of Haydn and succeeded him as Kapellmeister at Eisenstadt.
Sorry?
Not a clue.
Not a clue.
Hummel. Balsam first performed at the last night of the Proms in 2009 when she played a Haydn concerto, Piazzolla's Libertango, and an arrangement of which American composer's song They Can't Take That Away From Me, from the film Shall We Dance?
Cole Porter?
No, it's Gershwin, George Gershwin. Let's start the question. Quote, about the dandy's leader, there is no doubt. He is accepted by all as the archetypal figure. These words of the British fashion writer Colin McDowell referred to which figure of Regency society? He is the...
St Hilda's McDermott.
Paul Brummel.
Well done. Your bonuses then, St Hilda's, are on the former German Chancellor Angela Merkel. After the fall of the Berlin Wall, Merkel joined which political party, becoming its leader in 2000? A three-letter abbreviation is enough for the points here.
CDU. CDU.
CDU?
Yes, for the Christian Democratic Union. Merkel first became Chancellor in what year, heading a grand coalition of the CDU, CSU and SPD?
Didn't we just say it? I don't know.
Sorry. 89?
No, I asked for the year in which she became Chancellor of Germany. That was 2005. Merkel left office in 2021 as Germany's second longest-serving Chancellor. Her 16-year term was only a little shorter than that of which politician, her former mentor?
I don't know.
Cole?
Willy Brandt. Helmut Kohl.
Willy Brandt?
No, you had it with Helmut Kohl. Bad luck, bad luck, bad luck. Let's start the question. Often drunk at Christmas, eggnog is usually considered a variant of which medieval drink that combined hot milk and wine or ale?
Edinburgh McGavin.
Advocaat.
No. Anyone from St Hilda's, you may not confer. Guess if you want to.
St Hilda's McDermott.
Mead?
No, it's posset. Let's start the question. Used to mark the beginning of spring in Ireland, small crosses traditionally were... And at the gong, St Hilda's have 130 and Edinburgh 185. Well, the answer to that last one was going to be St Bridget of Kildare. St Hilda's, what can I say? When you got in with half a chance, you were so good. It's just that for the first 5 or 6 minutes, these guys ran away with all the starters and you had to sit there, especially you, Daisy, as they got all these classics questions.
Agonising.
I know, I'm so sorry. I don't know if it's any consolation, but they're not going to get through either. Edinburgh, you were absolutely magnificent against such a strong team, but you had to get to 240 and you fell short of that. So I'm so sorry, but it means that despite winning, we're going to say goodbye to you. That seems a bit cruel, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does.
Your loss.
It is very much our loss, but we've loved having you. I hope you can join us next time for another match in this Christmas series. But until then, it is goodbye from St Hilda's, Oxford.
Goodbye.
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 It's goodbye from Edinburgh.
Goodbye.
Bye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.